What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. Before I get on with today's tour, I wanted to give a special thanks to Chris Towerton over at Urban Permaculture in Australia. From time to time we get just small donations, and I want to thank you all for those donations. Chris has taken it upon himself this year to make a sizable donation to the Permaculture Homestead and has, in essence, basically sponsored the 2018 growing season. I've been able to go out and buy quite a few new perennials and a whole pile of seeds, and Chris has basically fed my family for 2018. So I want to give a big thanks to you, Chris. There's no reason for you to have to do that whatsoever. Chris is a really special guy. He's been around here for over 2 years, and anybody who can stand listening to me for more than 2 years is definitely a special person. Please go check out Chris Towerton's channel. He's a lot more well educated in this permaculture thing than I am. He's got a lot of great content. With that being said, let's get on with the tour. Okay, garden fans, I just want to give you a quick pre-spring vlog. It's still been a little too chilly for us to plant our annuals, so I've kind of been doing some spring cleaning out here, preparing for that time. The raspberry patch is certainly filled out some, and it is spreading all over the yard. Everything I grow spreads. I don't mind that it spreads. I just maintain it and manage it the best I can. So the raspberries are flowering, and some other spring maintenance I've gotten on so far is my water jugs here. I've cleaned them out, I've emptied them out, I've stuck some new pallets underneath them, kind of get them up off the ground a little more. Kind of washed out as much of the algae growing in there as I could, and really just set them up for another year. That's something I do once a year. Generally the pallets underneath them will break down pretty quick. White flowers all over the place. Those are wild blackberries, and I let them grow. I don't try to pull them up. They are the thorny blackberry variety. They're a native wild edible here in Zone 8, South Carolina. And they've flowered already. They got a great companion of vetch, which is a nice nitrogen fixer for them. And this is a great food source for us. They don't really compete with my other blackberry canes because they're upright, and these are more of a low-lying vining ground cover. So I do let a lot of the wild edibles grow back here. Got no problem with that. My raspberry patch is certainly starting to spread around the food forest, and I'm not going to stop it. That's invasive wild permaculture is what I'm trying to, foster here. The whole food forest is looking really good, minus the fact that we've had, some 40-degree nights and it hasn't been super warm. I am starting the process of rabbit tractoring to clean up the weeds and prepare the ground for our annual veggies. So you can see already she's kind of plowed a path through the weeds and vetch and cover crops that we've thrown down during the fall. She's manured and basically prepared the place for me to put in annual veggies behind her and then wood chip over that. So all these weeds and ground covers that we planted in the fall, the clovers, the vetches, they're all going to get eaten up. It's now going to turn into rabbit food. She's going to turn it into a manure or fertilizer. I'm then going to plant my annual veggies in that and wood chip over it. So it's got a nice little process back here to keep things growing on and to keep things fertilized. My pawpaws are leafing out, and I have another pawpaw over here that is in its 4th year on the homestead, and it is flowering profusely. I am really excited about this. And if you've never seen pawpaw flowers, they're black, really dark violet black flowers. With a very small light yellow colored pistil in there. Really, really awesome looking flowers. This is our 5th year on this food forest. This is going into its 5th year, so it's 4 years old, and it's basically getting established. Other spring maintenance I'm doing is kind of letting some things bolt in the heat. My parsleys are starting to bolt, and I'm going to let them bolt and seed. And what I'm going to then do is just kind of chop them off, and they will come back. So the parsley starting to flower. I'll cut it off after it's flowered and seeded, and what we'll have is more parsley. So it's a nice little cycle I've finally gotten into the groove of here on our 5th year at the food forest. This is one of the first perennials I've bought in this year. It's a lemon verbena. Thanks a lot, Chris Towerton. I'm going to leave it in a bucket so it can bush out, shrub out, and I can bring it in during the winter. But that is a new addition to the food forest, lemon verbena. I often get people asking me about mint. Oh my gosh, does it spread? Oh no, mint spreads, watch out. Yeah, I know mint spreads, it's okay. You can see I've got mint spreading all over the place. And I'm gonna tell you, it smells great back here. It's got this great apple mint smell all over the place. And what I don't have growing where the mint is weeds. So there's a method to the madness here, people. I'm trying to overgrow the weeds. And things like the autumn olive, which is taller than the mint, is not really struggling at all. It's not hurting, it's not being outcompeted whatsoever. My trees, which are a lot taller than the mint, they're not hurting at all. They're growing, they're blossoming, they're greening out. And every place that I don't have some sort of a ground cover, what I have are annual weeds growing in. So yeah, I know, I grow a lot of things that spread wild back here, and I don't mind. I am very happy having mint rather than weeds. I would rather have mint than weeds. More autumn olive. We're really early here in spring, but there's already tons of stuff going on. Bee balm, companioned up with a beauty berry. That's very slowly coming back to life. This pair of plum trees in the back are putting on quite a bit of fruit. They've made it through the frosts that we had. So there's a lot of promise here for a plum crop this year. Once again, it's our 5th year here, and I've got a lot more promise than what I did the last couple years. Looks really nice back here. I haven't pruned these at all. I'm kind of letting them go wild here. These trees are about 2.5 years old. So I really just kind of want to let them focus on doing what they would do naturally in the wild, which is putting on a lot of growth. Little competition ain't bad for anybody and any plant. Our blackberries, obviously coming in, looking good. They're about ready to start flowering. And my mulberries. Oh goodness, if you've been watching for this season so far, I had my mulberries leaf, fruit, die, and now here they are leafing and fruiting again. So I'm super excited about that. I think I'm actually going to get a harvest of mulberries this year, provided we don't get any more 30-degree temperatures. So this is a black mulberry, native variety. And I've got a Pakistani mulberry over here that is itself leafing right back out. And I've got a strong feeling it'll put on some fruit as well. That's it, garden fans. Ain't gonna make it too long. The only other perennial I've bought is a bay leaf. This is the Towerton bush, bay bush. Thanks, Chris, once again. We've got quite a few new perennials out here, and lots of things are already coming up. It's hard to do a whole thing here, and I'm going to start doing some smaller videos really targeting a lot of sections out here in the food forest because there's just too much going on in one spot. I appreciate you all watching as always. If you have any questions, just ask. Please like, please share as always, and subscribe. God bless.